Hello, everyone. Welcome again to our live social medium blitz. We are doing all kinds of advertising today, and it's really super exciting to be talking about the Summer Biohacking Virtual Summit. So, I am the event producer and visionary for this Integrative Wellness Expo and Conference. And originally it was an in-person event. Now it is a virtual and hybrid event because COVID opened us up to the possibilities of doing something hybrid. So I will be presenting from right here in my office tomorrow. I'm your keynote speaker for the virtual summit. And my talk is about the future of wellness. So, I'm also the founder of the Integrative Wellness Collective. I'm going to share with you a little bit about my talk and what it is we're going to be talking about. So, this is a very transformative journey that we're embarking on. This 4-day event is seriously set to disrupt healthcare. We are building things that are moving in the direction of a new era of wellness. The Integrative Wellness Collective is more than just an organization, it's a movement. I actually started a Facebook group in 2013 with the plan to grow a network of healers. We're at 846 people inside of that group right now. And I am so delighted to be sharing that we have started the company. We have officially started the organization as an incorporated company as of July 8th. We're officially in business, and we have 12 members signed up so far, and we're seeing movement happen everywhere we go because we're building organically. This is a grassroots cooperative, and it is truly fueled by the passion and commitment of individuals like me and like you who recognize that our current healthcare system is in need of a profound change. We are challenging the status quo because we believe that true health cannot be achieved through a one-size-fits-all approach. We know that drugs don't always work, surgery isn't always the answer, and far too often the critical role of nutrition is neglected. So why disrupt healthcare? Well, why not? We've said several times healthcare is broken. We've seen this in our over the last few years, and we deserve a better system. We deserve a better way of building what we're building. I know that with every growing event that we host and every beautiful opportunity to present to you, I get an opportunity to talk to you about our collective and about this movement that we're starting. And really, it started a long time ago. It started when I was 17 years old. And I was watching my father for the very first time have his first heart attack and watching him connected all the wires in the hospital, in the ER. I had this epiphany moment that I did not want to follow in those footsteps. In that moment, I was like, I am not going to live that life. I'm not going to have this experience. I want more longevity. I want to see more health in my life. And I made a choice in that moment, and I continued that path. And despite the fact that my father had a challenging life and had to go through diabetes and heart disease and various other illnesses as a result of lifestyle practices, I have the benefit of knowing better and knowing that there are choices you can make to be healthier. Now, I am not a thin girl. I do not hold weight because of a thyroid problem or a hormone problem. This is simply sugar addiction and the fact that I have not been taking actions in my lifestyle to be the healthy person that I know that I can be. And it's catching up to me. Believe me, I can feel it now. And I probably will continue to feel it. But the truth of the matter is, I know better. I started doing wellness coaching in 2011. And it was based on the idea that we can achieve optimal wellness. We can achieve health by taking in lifestyle practices that can help us achieve optimal health. Now, those lifestyle practices that I taught as a coach included high supplemental nutrition, having really good superfood nutrition, making sure you're eating whole plants on a regular basis, making sure you're getting enough fruits and vegetables into your diet on a regular basis, making sure that you're getting enough sleep, that you're getting enough rest, that you're getting enough exercise. Now, these are the basic needs of humans. We need food, we need sleep, we need exercise. And really, as I was mentioning in my lives earlier today, the practices are now becoming biohacking practices. Now, these lifestyle practices are things like buying into a supplement program, buying into a way where you can dial in your nutrition intake, maybe with one of those delivery services that offer all of the ingredients for a meal where you don't have to think about it. You've got the recipe right there. You build the food, you eat the healthy food. This is one way that we're seeing society is coming up with solutions to get that healthy food in front of you. Now, I also know that it is very easy to have the standard American diet. I mean, most places are more likely to have a McDonald's on every corner than a grocery store. There are so many places in the United States that have food deserts, that don't have grocery stores, and they don't have these beautiful farmers markets. So there are places that don't know the benefit of eating whole foods. They eat processed food as their primary intake. And of course, they're getting sick. So I am understanding from this global perspective that there's things that we need to change. There's things that need to shift. And one of those things is our food, nutrition, the quality of the food that we have at our grocery stores or even at our convenience stores. If you don't have a grocery store nearby, what are your options food-wise? When you go into a convenience store, you might have apples or bananas. They're not going to be organic for sure. You might have access to granola or something healthy, but for the most part, you're not going to get your fruits and vegetables inside that convenience store. You're going to get a lot of processed foods. And the same is true for even the big box stores, and if you look at the problems here, it's really about the processing of the food. It's that food has been modified from a point of natural food to this delicious box of food that's been completely processed and filled with sugar and fat and unhealthy. And I mean, I'm thinking about the most recent box of pasta that I bought, and I was disturbed to find that there was sugar, there was eggs, there was things in this pasta that really don't need to be in the pasta. Why? Why are we putting sugar in pasta sauce? Why are we putting eggs when eggs aren't necessary to build a pasta? Why do we choose food that is so heavily processed? It's because it tastes good. This is why we choose it. And I understand. I mean, look at me. I understand. Completely get it. I get it. I also know that there are choices that you can make on a daily basis to be healthier. Step 1, drink water. Water is like the elixir of life. This is something that should be in your diet on a daily basis. Water. just simple water. And if you don't like the taste of water, try some filtered water. If you don't like filtered water, add some lemon or cucumber or mint, or buy those filtered water flavored drinks. Look for the ones that are low calorie, low sugar, because you don't really need the sugar. You just need the liquid. You need the hydration. The point of hydration is to hydrate the cells. It hydrates your entire body. I've given talks about hydration several times in the concepts of drinking water, just simple water on a daily basis. Seems so elusive sometimes. The second thing I talk about is nutrition. Bringing in healthy nutrition. I personally take the Garden of Life Organics. This is a whole food gummy, women's multivitamin. These are delicious. They are vegan, so they don't have any gelatin in them. They are full of superfoods, whole food, meaning that it's less processed. And this is the kind of nutrition that I'm talking about. Quality nutrition. Quality nutrition. So if you can't get whole plants, then buy something like this, whole food nutrients, because this will give you the supplements that you need to supplement your diet. Now, in addition to that, exercise. I mean, it really does come down to these three basic things: exercise, water, nutrients, sleep. 4 basic things. And then, of course, in addition to that, creative expression. We need these things. And this is something that we know instinctively that we need, which is why our bodies instinctively will crave sugar or salt. Our bodies know that we need the sugars and the salts to be healthy. The salts help us build blood. The sugars help us build the cells. The cells need the sugars and the salts to function. There are so many things about nutrition that are really, really basic, that you just need to get enough fruits and vegetables. And really, I mean, you could subsist on fruits, vegetables, nuts, seeds, grains, and legumes. This would be enough. Add the healthy fats. Now, avocado could be your healthy fat. So eat an avocado. That's enough fat for the week. So, there are so many things about consumption that we're just constantly deceived. We're told that we need certain nutrients. There's so many doctors out there that are claiming that this food is bad or that food is bad. And you know what? If it's a whole plant food, if it's something that upsets your stomach and it's a whole plant food, maybe look at the organic version instead of the conventional version. If the organic version still upsets your stomach, then maybe you're sensitive to that particular food, and maybe you shouldn't be consuming that particular food. One of the other things that I talked about as a coach was finding your toxins. What are the things that your body is sensitive to? Being present to how your body responds to what you consume is a great way to start getting to know what you're sensitive to. Personally, I have sensitivities to dairy. I'm sensitive to high acid foods. So things like pineapple and lemon and tomato. Tomato in particular burns the inside of my mouth. And so I have to be careful eating tomato. I have to be careful eating bell pepper. So these are your nightshades. It's possible that I am sensitive to nightshades. And eventually I might have to cut out nightshades altogether. And this is something that I understand as a health coach, as a person who has been on this journey for a very long time. Now, despite the fact that I do have weight on my body, I also have a healthy blood. I have a low cholesterol. I have all of the nutrients in my body that I need. The only reason I have weight, as I mentioned, is because of sugar. Because I love sugar. So I personally could use a coach that could teach me how to avoid sugar. I could use a fitness coach who could teach me how to exercise with my chronic pain so that I can move through the pain, because there are things that I want from my body that I have not gotten on my own. And so I'm willing to seek out the support and the help for that. There are so many things about human life that we really do need the support on. We need help. We need to feel guided. We need to feel like we have the answers. And sometimes it means asking questions. Sometimes it means hiring someone or trading with someone who can give you the guidance that you're needing. It could be a coach, it could be a fitness coach, a health coach, it might be a naturopathic doctor or an acupuncturist, it might be your MD who has a coach in their office, it might be a friend who wants to be your accountability partner. But the idea of good health is that it takes action, it takes effort, it takes movement forward. And so, as I mentioned in my lives earlier today, I do exercise daily. I get water daily. I make sure I get 6 to 8 glasses of water a day. I make sure that I consume enough nutrients every day. I eat whole foods every day. I make sure that I eat plants every single day. Like today, I had chickpeas, I had cauliflower, I had blueberries, I had peanuts, I had whole grain bread, I had sweet potatoes. I've had so many things, and that's just in the morning. That's all I've had today is fruits and vegetables and whole grains and some nuts. Very simple vegan diet. I don't overthink it. I just bring in the nutrients that I know my body needs, and I do it regularly. And so with practice, I've learned I eat berries every day. I eat nuts every day. I make sure I get at least one serving of grains every day. And that's not always going to be bread. Sometimes it's quinoa, sometimes it's rice. I vary my proteins. I get beans, I get nuts, I bring in seeds. Absolutely love chia pudding. That's one of my favorite sweet treats, actually not even made with sugar. There are things that you can do with your diet to simplify and to bring in all the nutrients you need. And absolutely, I'm a big supporter of supplementing. I do believe that supplementing is important. I believe that our bodies need the extra nutrients, especially if you have a day that you don't get quality nutrition. Maybe you go through a fast food drive-through and you don't get good food for lunch. Maybe it's full of grease. It's not super healthy. Maybe you are rushing home from work after dinner and you're starving, and so your only option is to go through a drive-through. Sometimes that's your best choice because you got to eat. But recognize that when you make that choice, you also are making a choice that's detrimental to your health. And so I definitely don't recommend eating fast food on a regular basis. It's something that should be a treat, something that you don't need to consume on a regular basis. Now, this is a hard thing to talk about because if you live in poverty and you live in a food desert and there's no grocery store within 15 miles of you, and your only food options are fast food and convenience stores, then what do? Honestly, in that moment, learn. There are skills that need to be learned in that moment. The first skill, do you have enough room in your backyard or on your patio to grow some food? It might be herbs, it might be some foods. Do you have a community garden nearby? A lot of communities are now starting these community gardens. Do you have an open space that maybe you could share with your neighbors and you could start a community garden? Do you have access to whole plant foods? If not, I empower you to grow your own. Go to Home Depot, spend a couple bucks on a pot and some seeds. Get the organic mulch, the dirt, build a pot and put it on your patio and grow yourself some zucchini. I mean, there are so many different options in the food world that you could grow on your balcony. If you want to get really good at it, do your homework, go take a class, learn about permaculture or dynamic farming, learn how to grow food so that you can grow food for your well-being. And you know what? That means you can grow it organic and you don't have to worry about the conventional pesticide-laden foods. Second to that is look into filtered water. Now, there are lots of filters out there. The cheaper filters don't filter out very much. The more expensive filters filter out a lot. It's an investment, and it is something that's worthy because our tap water is full of chemicals, it's full of pharmaceuticals, it's full of pesticides and herbicides. And so knowing that you really are taking a chance drinking tap water, then the choice is clear that you actually need to filter the water. And how are you doing that? Is it a Brita filter you're putting inside your refrigerator? Is it a filter that's attached to your sink? Is it a filter that's attached to your main water system? Could even be a filter like a Berkey that sits on top of your counter. These are options for filtered water, so you get clean filtered water. Beyond that is exercise. Now, I understand it's hard to get started. It's really hard to motivate yourself. I also know that it's not hard to exercise every day. It could just be a walk, 10 to 15-minute walk. It could just be a 7-minute high-intensity interval training. It could just be a swim. It could just be a yoga session. It doesn't have to fit the narrative of the usual, like go to the gym and do 45 minutes of cardio and then do the weights and then go sit in the sauna. Like, you don't have to do it that way. So if that is your way, I commend you, and that is awesome. However, it is not necessary if you don't want to do it that way. If you're not an athlete and you're not comfortable with sweating like me, then by all means, figure out a way to fit exercise in your day-to-day that doesn't require you to go outside of your comfort zone. The reason I say that is because you're more likely to do it on a regular basis if it's something that you enjoy. It's something that is not uncomfortable. If it's something that you crave. Personally, I crave the yoga practice. I crave laying on my mat and getting out of my head and into my body. So exercise. Make the choice every day to exercise. Now, I am inviting you to this biohacking conference. This is something that I am extremely passionate about. And the reason I'm so passionate is I understand that optimal health is possible. Now, I went live earlier today on Facebook and on Instagram, and I mentioned that biohacking is about energy optimization. It's about nutrition optimization. It's about mental wellness. It's about physical wellness. It's about spiritual wellness. It can be any aspect of your life that you bring in a practice that becomes a hack. So my taking whole food, plant-based nutrients is a hack. Making sure that I have whole grain snacks and real food sitting next to me is more likely that I'm going to choose the whole real food than get up and go to the kitchen and get the chips out of the cupboard. Easier access. This helps. So knowing things that help you make healthier choices is a good technique to bring in. That becomes a hack. It becomes a biohack. Now, the things like deep breathing practices, like ice baths, like water up, heat down. I just learned this concept. There are so many practices that are in the industry of biohacking that you can really explore all kinds of things and biohack your way to a healthier life. I consider myself a biohacker, and I do consider myself a healer, and I move in the direction of opening the possibility of optimal wellness to everyone on the planet. And so I host things like this Wellness Wednesdays with Stephanie podcast. And I host things like this Biohacking Wellness Summit. I host things like the Integrative Wellness Expo and Conference, because the idea is to introduce you to the ideas that can help you heal. The idea is to give you the tools and the techniques that can give you access to a healthier life, to give you an opportunity to be a healthier version of yourself, a better version of yourself, and perhaps a more enlightened version of yourself. So I invite you to join us. The information about the event is down below, and there is a link for tickets if you'd like to join. And the first 5 people who reach out to me to discuss this event are also going to be gifted free tickets. So please join me tomorrow. Check out my keynote speech about our impact on wellness, on the industries of traditional, holistic, and quantum medicine. Check out our collective online. Go to integrativewellnesscollective.org. Follow us on the socials. Same name, Integrative Wellness Collective, on both Facebook and Instagram. Our next live is going to be on TikTok. So continue following us today and get in touch if you would like to receive those free tickets that I have available for you. Namaste.